All right, well, welcome. I'm Diana Thompson, and thank you for coming to class today. It's really great to have you here. Thank you. So I've used acupressure to help horses for about 30 years and seen some unbelievable results and been happily teaching people how to do it ever since. My goal today is to teach you how to do acupressure on the horses in your care. And I know by watching these lessons and studying the materials, you'll be able to do it yourself. I've taught thousands of people how to do it, and so I'm really confident that you can learn how to do it too. So our first lesson today is about Chinese medicine, qi, and acupressure points. This is a picture of me working on the point called gallbladder 21 right here. I actually have my hand on some lung points up there over the withers as well. This is Max. He's a Palomino stallion that we've featured a lot in my book, and you'll see a lot of pictures of him as we keep going. Okay. Okay. So traditional Chinese medicine, it's abbreviated as TCM. So when you hear me say TCM, that's what I'm talking about. And it refers to a group of healthcare methods that's at least 3,000 years old. Acupressure is one of the methods in this group, along with acupuncture, which uses needles, diet, herbs, massage, movement exercises like Qigong, Tai Chi, walking, all sorts of things. And what I really appreciate about Chinese medicine is the goal of these methods, both then and today, is to prevent illness by creating the best possible health in each person or animal. And this emphasis is found in writings that date back 2,300 years. So they've been practicing it for a while, and that it's not that they're better than Western medicine, it's just that it's been around a long time, and so they've tried something out and then refined it or said, oh, that's not any good, we're going to try something else, and just generation after generation after generation of people and animals have worked through these different things. So we're kind of left with a body of work that's time-tested over generations. So that's pretty valuable. And one thing that was quite interesting as I was studying is that TCM practitioners were actually assigned by the government to take care of the people in a certain area. So my little town of Fulton, you'd have your practitioner, and you'd go see the practitioner, and they needed to create a wellness program for you. And we're all quite different in what foods work really well for us, what time of day we're the most active for our constitution, what exercise works for us. And so they would personalize that program for you, depending on your body type, your personality, your age, what work you did. Foods, herbs, acupressure points, exercises, this kind of whole picture approach. And it's really interesting, the remedies would often change with the seasons, because if you can think about it, food and exercise for the summer is quite different than food and exercise during the winter. So they kind of kept in mind the seasons of the year, the weather, the temperature, which is not something that we talk too much about in modern society. Then the other thing that's really quite interesting, let me see if I can get that to go away, there, is that if the client became ill while following the program, the practitioner had to treat you for free. So it was completely based on, here's this program, follow these ideas, and if you did and you became ill, they had to work with you for free. So it's pretty much the reverse of what Western medicine has developed. Although Western medicine is learning the value of prevention and diet and exercise quite well and going that way strongly, rather than do all these things your whole life and then need a big medical intervention to get you back. Chinese medicine wants to work with you and keep you healthy, and then if you just start to get a little not so good, get you back. It's about keeping you in balance. So the life force energy called qi, and we pronounce it qi. You'll see it spelled a number of different ways. You'll see CHI, CH, all sorts of different ways, but in this program I'll be spelling it QI. So one concept that's fundamental to TCM is the belief that within all living beings there's a life force energy called qi. And this energy activates all the internal functions of your body, heartbeat, breathing, digestion, anything you can think of that goes on internally. Qi is the force that makes that happen. It's the force that creates strong, full muscles and moves the horse forward at the walk, trot, and gallop. It also fuels the ability to think clearly and make wise decisions. It helps contain the emotions. So emotions are very valuable. It's just when they go over the top, we all know that that can cause problems. All right, so my teacher, my primary teacher, a practitioner of Chinese medicine, Sean Fannin, he says, here's his quote, "Qi can be seen in the energy, warmth, and vital movement of our lives. All transformations and movements within the body, whether physical or emotional, depend on the qi." And here's the crux of it. If we have the right or correct movement of qi within the body, then everything is going to function properly. And we're going to talk about that a lot, trying to work with the correct movement of the qi. So here's a key concept for you, and we're going to go back and forth to this all the time, is the correct flow of qi within the body is what creates good physical and emotional health. And they refer to this state as, we call it the correct flow of qi or the correct qi. And acupressure is used to support the correct flow of qi. So is nutrition, exercise, training methods, and a horse's living situation. That all influences the flow of qi. And then the opposite, an incorrect flow of qi in the horse's body leads to poor physical or emotional health. And this state is referred to as an incorrect flow of qi. We also call it a pattern of disharmony, or you just say the pattern. So when I say he's got the pattern of qi deficiency or qi stagnation, that's what I'm talking about. It's a pattern of incorrect qi. Okay? Incorrect flows of qi leave the horse vulnerable to illness, injury, and emotional upset. There are many types of qi energy at work within our bodies. For instance, the qi known as channel qi flows beneath the surface of the body in fairly set pathways, kind of like water, rivers of water underground, right, that your well taps into. These invisible flows are called channels, meridians, or vessels. A lot of times you hear the phrase, acupressure meridian. The work that I do with my teacher, we call it a channel because it's like a flow of water. Meridian is the French translation for the word, and it has to do with, you think meridians of latitude and longitude, has to do with a line. And qi isn't a fixed line, it's a flow of energy. So it doesn't have like a really narrow line. It's kind of like light emanating from the light bulb. Oh. Okay? All right. So each channel is a concentration of qi with certain characteristics that give it the ability to influence a specific organ or function. So again, this channel is the gallbladder channel. So we go back to the definition. It's a concentration of qi with certain characteristics. So the dotted line shows the approximate pathway of the gallbladder channel. And the dots are the line beneath the surface of the body. Oh, okay. This concentration of qi, the gallbladder qi, assists the liver energy in the very important function of keeping the qi moving around the whole body. So it's a really big job of not only keeping the qi moving through this channel, but all the channels of the body. That's the liver and the gallbladder do that. So they want to keep that qi moving in a smooth, correct flow. There's that word, correct flow again. So as part of this function, gallbladder qi contributes to the flexibility and strength of the horse's muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Dr. Carrie Ridgway used to say the gallbladder qi was a very big player in the movement of the horse. So if you have a horse that's an athlete and you need top movement, racehorse, cutting horse, whatever, you've got to work with your liver gallbladder qi all the time. And mentally, gallbladder energy is associated with the ability to make a decision and move forward with clear thinking and courage. So if the horse can't move forward, they're timid, they go forward, they back up. We know we have to get that forward, correct movement of the qi. And here's Max again with the channel. So what happens is the qi surfaces at the acupressure points. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And here's this flow of qi. Here's where it starts on their head. This was my horse Timothy. He's not on the planet with us anymore. And Timothy was not a photo star. He was an ex-race horse that was all about movement. And so I bribed him with some hay on a box so that I could take pictures of him to put the gallbladder channel on him. Max, on the other hand, is a show horse, and he was very good at standing still and having his picture taken. So you learn which horses are the models and which horses are not interested. I have other pictures of Timothy with Dr. Ridgway, and he has this big smirk on his face, like, I am not happy standing still. It's not what I do. Okay. So as I mentioned, the gallbladder chi is flowing underneath the surface, and then it comes up to the surface. The white dots are the acupressure points. That's a small area on the skin where the chi comes up to the surface of the body and concentrates. All right. The words spring or well are often included in the names of the points to illustrate the idea of the chi energy flowing like water up to the surface. So if you can think about a spring that you come across in the mountains where water is bubbling up to the surface, or a well that drills down and then you can access the water coming up. That's what our points are. Is this energy has come up to the surface so we can work on it. So acupressure then, here's the definition. It's the art of placing my fingers or my palm on a point in order to connect with the unique chi that's concentrated at that location. So this connection, my energy to the chi energy of the point, it strengthens the correct flow of chi within the horse, and that in turn strengthens the physical and emotional functions energized by that type of chi. So if we're working with gallbladder chi, especially like gallbladder 34 has a whole lot to do with tendons and ligaments, then I'm going to activate that function. If I were going to work with CV17, which you'll see in a few minutes, that has a lot to do with the energy of the lungs and the breathing. So that's, you have to find the spots that do the jobs. It's kind of like a fuse box in an electrical panel. I got to hit that one for the refrigerator, and I got to hit that one for the water heater. Okay? All right. So acupressure is carried out using the gentle pressure of your hands and fingers. It does not take heavy pressure. I'll be going over that later. We're just talking just 2 or 3 ounces of pressure because we're just tapping in to the chi. It's coming up, it comes up, and we're just going to meet it. We don't have to dig the well. It's coming up. All right?
Yeah.
Good. Acupressure on the point known as gallbladder 21, it's one of the points I'm going to be showing you how to work on in the program, and it's located right here, right at the base of the neck and shoulder. Its Chinese name is Jianjing, and that means shoulder well. So a lot of times the names will tell you something about where it's located and a quality about it. So the fact that the word well is in this point's name tells you there's a lot of chi there.
Okay.
Anytime that's in there, like sometimes you'll have one, kidney one is bubbling springs.
Ooh.
So that's like a big fountain coming up. All right. Gallbladder 21 is a concentration of gallbladder chi. And when I touch the point using acupressure, the flow of chi at this location and along the gallbladder channel will be strengthened. And that improves the functions of gallbladder energy. And so I explained earlier, that's going to move the chi smoothly and correctly around the whole body. It's going to support the health of the horse's muscles, tendons, and ligaments, both in this region and throughout the body. So anytime you want to learn about what's a point for, you could say, well, where is it located? So just by the fact that that's located there at the neck and the shoulder, I know it's going to help the neck and the shoulder. Just because it's in that area, it's going to move the chi, it's going to move the blood, it's going to help the circulation of all the tissues and the nerves here. But because gallbladder has to do with this function of moving the chi and helping tendons and ligaments, then I know it has a bigger purpose as well. And that's to help tendons and ligaments in the entire body. Because of these functions, acupressure on gallbladder 21, it's really well known to relax tight, painful muscles of the horse's neck and shoulders. It also calms a horse when he's emotionally tense or frustrated or impatient. So that's Max again, this time in full color. And I've just started to work on gallbladder 21. And he's busy. He's a breeding stallion. And guess what? He's watching a mare walk around the edge of the arena. And I'm thinking, oh, this is never going to work, you know? Look at how high his head is, and his attention's riveted somewhere else, not on me. Then I'd also have you look at his nostrils, how narrow they are. So he's kind of like this, that feeling in his body. All right. Guess what? Gallbladder 21 starts to work anyway. He takes one step forward is all, and lowers his head and starts to yawn. So I'm like, yay. So even if, when we're working on the point, you would like to feel the chi, that's nice, but the big thing is to watch the horse's behavior. So the horse is showing us through his behavior that the gallbladder 21 point is working, okay? Then the next photo, here he goes. Now again, if you look closely though, he's still peeking at the mare, isn't he? Right? His nostrils, he's still taking deeper breaths. He's dropped his head all the way to the ground. He's almost blinking his eyes, but he's still thinking a little bit about the mare walking around the outside of the arena. All right? And then, now he's out for the count. So now his eyes are closed, and that's as relaxed as you'll ever see Max. So I was pretty happy with that response. His nose is about a foot off the ground. The soft look in his eye, the position of his ears sideways. He's no longer worried about the other horse. Look how big his nostril is. So all these signs of his body and his posture, his emotional state, show us that the acupressure on the point is working quite nicely. Many horses enjoy the relaxing effects of acupressure on gallbladder 21, and by the end of this program, you'll all be able to find it and work on it. So let's go to the next lesson in the class, and I'm going to discuss the electrical properties of qi and how you can start to feel it with your hands.